Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of From a Woman to a Leader. And I'm super excited today because we're going to have a wonderful episode. We're going to talk about going against the norm, how an incredible woman was able to thrive in tech, get to high executive roles, all of that by balancing family. And also, on top of that, giving back and also becoming an entrepreneur, everything. She has it all. Very impressive. So I want to introduce you to Revathi Pillai, and she is a senior vice president and a chief engineering officer at Mutualink. Hi, Revathi. How are you?
Hello, hi Limor. I'm doing fine. How are you? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Thank you so much, Revathi, for being here today. I'm even more honored because you said, like, you usually don't talk on podcast and you agreed to talk with me. So thank you so much.
Yeah, I this is my first. So far I haven't said yes to anybody to do podcast. So yeah.
So I'm
Thank you.
gratefully honored. Thank you. And I hope there will be more than that after this one. We'll see. So let's start by maybe talking a little bit about your background growing in India and your journey.
Yeah, I'm from India. I'm from the southernmost part of India called Kerala. And our state is known as God's own country because it's one of the most beautiful places in India. And yeah, I did my engineering there, and my childhood is great. I cannot even imagine a better childhood than that. I'm very lucky about that. And my whole perception about life and what we can do is all shaped through my grandfather and my parents. My going against no, that is who
Yeah,
they are. And that's what I saw when I grew up. And maybe that's make me for more stronger and could go and do things in a different way. My grandfather was a freedom fighter for India, freedom fighter. And he was from a very well-to-do and influential family, but left everything to go and fight, which didn't actually sit well with the with the family at that time. He was even in jail, and but the same thing. My parents also went against the norm, and it's different even through their marriage and everything of that. Whatever they feel right, they stood for it and they went for it. So that shaped my perception of how what we can do and what we should do. So that's kind of
absolutely.
the nutshell. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we'll see through the conversation. I mean, we talked about it earlier, like how you go against the norm and you do what you believe in. So let's start maybe by your journey, uh, like your first job when you're 7 months pregnant. Tell us a little bit about that because it's very brave, I would say, especially, thinking about previous years, not nowadays.
Yes, because this was in the mid 90s. Actually, I graduated with my master's and came out and found a job with a great company, Digital Equipment Corporation. Actually, they interviewed me on Valentine's Day and offered the job same time, same day. So it was love at first sight, actually, I guess. And before they even made an official offer, I let them know I might have to take some time off because I didn't say I'm expecting because I didn't want to put anything in problem. And they said, I remember them saying that, no problem, we are hiring you for long term. So when I joined, of course, 7 months pregnant, no time to build a career before you have the family. So we started both of them together and uh, told them I need some flexibility way in the beginning itself. The company was very, very lenient and let me work up to 4 days from home at that time. And this is in mid 90s. It is not common, but they were very flexible. And they even paid for the internet. It was modem at that time. They even paid for that monthly payment. The company did it. So although I started that way, like that means I'm getting more flexibility. So I work very hard to make sure that they don't feel that, okay, this is not a right thing to do, because I know that there are other people who feel they want to have that flexibility. I need to make sure that I'm giving back 150% back to the company. So that's how I started. And I have to say, till today, I haven't worked in a company that is not flexible or accepting the priorities I do have for my family. I haven't worked in any company 5 days in the office all through my career. I always had a part to work from home, and the companies were accommodating. And if I say that very well enough front, so if companies are not willing to do it, that's not the company for me. So that's how my journey started, and even
And
now.
I don't know how much you are aware of your bravery, but this is not trivial for women to say, hey, those are the things I need. And if you're not willing to be flexible for me, then you are not the right company for me.
Yeah, my priorities were my family, my kids. So I never planned my career. I didn't have a career plan. Actually, uh, when you go for interviews and even in review times, the usual questions you hear it, okay, where do you see in 5 years or 10 years? I completely drew blank at that time because I didn't know how to answer that question, because I never thought that far in where I will be. Basically, taking one day at a time, do the best I could, was how I did my whole career. So it is different because, as I said, priority was family.
Absolutely. So the priority was family, and you have two daughters, right?
Yeah.
And
Yes,
you said, well, I need to work, 4 days a week, or I need to have, some flexibility working
yeah.
from home. But still, you asked for flexibility, but you gave something in return. And I want to talk about that too, right? Because you got huge success in your career. It's not just you said, okay, my family is important for me. So said, okay, I sacrificed my career. You did both. You excelled in both. So I want to ask you kind of, what have you done that really was worthwhile for employers that appreciated you and promoted you? You said you didn't even have a career plan. You never
And
come with demands. You was not like pushing yourself up, but things happen to you. Obviously, it's not magic. It's due to who you are. So tell us a little bit about that.
I don't know exactly what I did it, but I can tell you what I did. That when I'm working, I'll be giving 150% back to the company. And I haven't pushed for career growth or anything like that. But if I see something that is not working, or I will try to make it better. So I think my management or my colleagues, or they realize my potential before I did. So they keep on giving me more and more responsibilities to see, okay, this is not doing well. Can you go and fix it? Or some team, can you go and put more processes and make more? So that's how it happened. So it's like whatever it takes to deliver a product or launch a product. So I try to do whatever is not working. If I think I can help, I do help, although it is not within my thing. So I think that's my guess, that I got where I am.
Yeah. So basically, you're saying, well, I asked for flexibility, I asked for certain things, but I also gave in return.
Yes. Yes.
So you said 150%.
Yes.
You worked
Because,
hard.
yeah, it is hard. But again, it is hard on me. But I don't want that to affect my family or the company. It was my decision to do both, right? So, and I want to do both well. So it was on me, and I was willing to put that time and effort to make both of them work. So that's how the whole thing happened.
Yeah, and basically, while saying yes, basically what you described, I always said yes, meaning any opportunity to do something more, to contribute, I said yes. So you were the problem solver. You're the person who was always reliable, always
Yes,
was trusted.
trusted. One of my previous bosses, who was the president of the company, said that I can take Revathi's word to the bank. So that kind of trust was there from the management to support me, and I got excellent support from the companies, most of the companies I worked. So that helped me, again, giving me opportunities, trusting me to come up.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, I don't know if you will know, but sometimes women can be used. So this kind of taking more than you should, that those are great things, right? Taking initiative, saying yes. But it can go the wrong way if you're always asked to do like the busy work, the stuff that maybe, no one else want to do. Like, I don't know, fix some bugs, take notes in meetings, whatever that is not advancing you. So what do you think was the difference? Like, you said yes, you took initiatives, and you were compensated for it, right? You were noticed as a leader.
Mhm.
So do you think there are some caveats women should kind of consider when they think, yeah, I should be always helping, always saying yes?
Um, for me, it was the very candid conversation with management. If I feel that if this is happening, I will I will talk to them, saying that I can do it, but I need help.
Mm-hmm.
So it is not all on me. So if you want get these things done, there are few things I need from you. So it is not taking everything, trying to please or anything. I'm trying to help. When I try to help, I may need some help to do that. So I can convey that to them. So it is mostly very straightforward conversations. That's what helped me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
Yeah,
basically not just saying, yes, I'll do everything, but hey, I'm willing to help with this, but this is what I need. So taking leadership, saying, I will solve this problem, but I need whatever help you need in order to do that.
yeah. And there's a funny story. One of my bosses, I cannot identify who that is, he asked me to do so many different things that we need to do this project, that project, that project. How can you make, can you make it happen? Please make it happen. So yes, he asked me basically 7 or 8 things to do. So I told them, yeah, I can do all these things if you can make one thing happen for me. One thing. And he said, okay, sure, tell me. He said, can you change the number of hours in a day from 24 to 48? If you can do it, I can do this. That he smiled and backed off.
I
So
just love that. That's a great strategy.
yeah, like I can do it, but one thing, just one thing, do one thing for me. So that was the thing. So
That's incredible. Yeah. I want to ask you another thing. So you're thriving in your career, you're giving 150%. You are also putting your family first.
yeah.
I want to talk about the sacrifices or what came, you cannot do everything, right? I mean, what was about yourself during those years when your daughters were still young?
me time. I didn't have much.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I missed. But then I started finding me time when I'm driving kids around, waiting for them. So I take that time to read. And they were doing dance classes. I joined with them. So I tried to create me time with them. So that helped. That helped the bonding also, like in the performance we do together, things like that. So although it's not much me time, I try to create time with my kids and make it as me time. So that was the main thing that was missing.
Yeah. And the reason I asked that is just because we're all human beings and eventually it's about priorities, right? I mean,
Yeah.
and you said, well, family first, work. And, sometimes it means sacrificing sacrificing some things,
Yeah.
prioritizing.
Yeah. That was me time was the lowest priority for me at that
Yeah,
time. But then I found some way to compensate some of it. So
yeah, that's wonderful. And obviously, you got to very, very impressive titles and executive roles. What are some challenges that you faced? Being a senior vice president, being a chief engineering officer, like getting to those roles. Can you share maybe about some challenges or advice that you have for women how to navigate that?
yeah, it is not easy. It is not an easy thing to do, especially this is a male-oriented engineering. It's an industry, sector. So it is not easy to get hired in higher position in engineering. It is not easy to get acceptance, even if after you get hired too. So that is a big challenge. And when I go for interview, I get so many questions like saying that, oh, we have all guy team, engineering team, I have 50 engineers. How do you manage 50 men? My answer is, I know how to manage 50 engineers. That's all it matters to me, whether they have the right skill set to do their job. Doesn't matter which gender or anything they are. But those are the kind of things I heard from small companies. I heard from really large companies too. Oh, I don't know how this team in this country is going to accept you. So those are things we cannot control, right? For me, as I mentioned to you, I have three strikes against me: gender, being female in an engineering thing, and yeah, I'm not from US. I'm from India, and I have an accent. So there are three things that is. So that also I can see that it is not easy to get to. But you don't need all jobs. You need only one job at a time. And there are people who really appreciate what you can do and who doesn't care about any of those things other than your skill set. And the companies, you will find that companies. And once you find that companies, you will thrive. Because once, and when I join any company, I talk to my manager that I need your support because that's the only way I can succeed in any new place, right? So and then once you start understanding your team and the team understanding you and what you are bringing to the table, you'll get acceptance. That's what I saw in everywhere I worked.
Yeah. And you mentioned three strikes against you, and probably the companies that are not willing to put the biases aside, they lost you, and probably
Yeah,
it wasn't a fit to begin with.
yeah, I did not want to work for any company like that because then I will be spending most of my time trying to fit in. I do not want to. I want to be productive there. I want to make the change they asked me to, brought me in, or to in culture, in products or whatever. But if I'm writing in a company, then I'm trying to fit in and things like that. That's a waste of my time and energy, and so is for the company's time. So
Absolutely.
that's not the right company for me.
And let's say the company hires you and you start managing an engineering organization, and most of them, let's say, are men, majority white
Yeah.
men. How do you gain the respect? What are the things you think you do that kind of maybe takes them some time, but they learn to respect you and appreciate you as a leader?
First of all, understanding the team, talking with the team, give respect. And then bringing, usually when I go there, I do the architecture analysis and things like that. Once they come to realize that, okay, you know what you're talking about, and they can have a conversation with you, the respect comes on. And then being fair. When they realize that you are being fair, you are not biased, things start changing. And I worked in companies where the team doesn't want to change, didn't want to do anything new, things like that, because they are successful in what they are doing. But I see potential in moving to different areas and things like that. So I recruited people to create prototypes and bringing the product out in the proof of concept and showing them. And in one case, I even had to take the proof of concept to a conference to show the customer and to show the product and how their appreciation. And then I requested the salespeople to come and present it to the team. And as you know, sales team know how to sell. They conveyed the customer excitement. That way also team completely changes because everybody wants to be part of success.
Yeah.
So once you show that you can bring success to what you're doing, most people want to jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah. I love
Not,
that.
it's very difficult to say no to success. So
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
that's one thing I realized.
Yeah. Incredible. I want to make sure that we touch also on your giving back because you're doing so much, right? I mean, not just thriving in your career, but you also started Chief in Boston, right?
Boston.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about Chief and how you started it and what you do there today.
Oh my God. Joining that group, I know that bringing that team, that was one of the best things because the core team in Teamworks, they have different core teams you are part of. The core team what I'm part of is amazing. We clicked, very well. So they are basically my personal board of advisors and non-judgmental, trusted team. So if one thing that made me realize is that I'm not the only one who is facing challenges. Everybody has their own challenges, and we share them. We talk about what can be done differently, and if we are doing right thing, things like that. And it is, since they are all senior executives, they have a wealth of experience and knowledge, and this is a big game changer for me when because till then I didn't have that kind of a group that I can go and talk or even listen at that level. So this was very good experience for me.
That's wonderful. And what do you do during Chief? Can you tell us a little bit about the activities that you are involved there?
Yeah, we have a monthly the core meetings, and Chief brings many eminent speakers in so many different areas. So they will come, and there are a lot of authors how to speak and all those, everything about how to be a leader. They try to bring people, and they try to, like Michelle Obama, all the people, high caliber people who succeeded in what they are doing. They come and talk, and so it's like you hear, and then at the end of the day, you realize that basically we are all same. We are all face the same challenges. How we approach it makes the success or not being that successful. So very inspiring. you can, you learn a lot. And there are a lot of different groups. You can put questions, and different groups talk about, for example, there's a huge marketing group. So anything about marketing you can put, then you get an answer. And even the members give talks about, for example, like in branding and different things. Like, so for me, I have a business. So for me, although I'm not in marketing, I have access to people who talks about it or things like that. So it is a huge platform of resources
Wow, that
to
sounds incredible. And who can join, Chief? Who is it for?
for executive women.
Executive
VP
women.
and above was it when I joined, and they interview you, make sure that you're a fit, because I heard that there are 30,000 or don't remember the 50,000 waiting list to join the chief.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah,
And sounds like an incredible resource.
it really. And if you have time to get into all the lectures and things like that, it will be amazing. And I may not be, I so far I was not able to get into everything, but everything I went to, I learned something from it and come back very inspired. So
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, and you mentioned your entrepreneurship journey as well, so I want to touch on that. Tell us, I mean, this is an incredible story about your entrepreneurial journey with your daughters.
again, just like anything in my career, this was also not planned. I happened to get some hair loss issues because of thyroid issues and things like that. And I went to see the doctor. They were talking about some medicine, which I don't want to do. So I thought, okay, I'm from India. We basically do oiling, hair oil. I want to get back to that. But that time COVID hit, so we couldn't get anything from India. So I started formulating things here so did a lot of trial and error, and come up with the formula. And I was using, my kids were using, kids' friends were using in college. So for two and a half years, I didn't ever again, never thought of starting a company or marketing it. But then the friends of my kids started asking, how can I get your mom's oil? That's how, again, without planning, we started the company, and we started launched the product mid last year, June. So my daughters are my partners.
Wow, this is incredible. So on top of your everything that you do, your day job, your involvement in Chief, you're also a founder and entrepreneur, and you have your company with your daughters, which is incredible.
Yes. Yeah, we are really enjoying it.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And you sell your oil in the US, or where
In
do
the
you sell?
US right now, but I'm getting a lot of inquiries from India and as of now from UK. I haven't started looking at the shipping and all those things yet, but that's where I'll be going next.
Wow, this is incredible. Wow. So much. You're doing so much and you're so inspiring. And I wanted to ask you, Revathi, if there is anything you want to kind of share with the audience, any last tips or any words of wisdom on top of everything that you shared.
The thing is that, yeah, not everything is going to work as you plan, if you plan, even if you plan. And take the opportunity come your way. And if you are one thing I have to say, when you are in executive position, you can be yourself. You don't have to emulate anybody. Be yourself, be genuine. You don't need to be like your counterpart. You don't need to. That's what because we as women, we have our EQ is much higher than anything, anyone else. So use it. And in one of the 360 things that one of the thing that came, that what do you think about me or my leadership? They said, passionate, compassionate leader. I think most women are.
Yeah.
And I think that's enough to be successful. And we always remember to give back to the community,
Yeah.
because that makes a big difference in how you feel about yourself. Because you need to, maybe your time is the best thing you can give, but please do. Those are the main things I can say.
That's wonderful. Yes. And definitely, definitely be your own authentic self. We have so much, we have so many strengths. We should hone into them and not try to be like anyone else.
No.
This is
Be
incredible.
yourself.
Thank you so much, everybody. It was a wonderful conversation. So much inspiration and value. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this opportunity, Lemur. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah.